welcome to week 2 of PMALCS, and this is Super Hoagie, and joined with me is Hacker Diehard 12, and streaming for us is lovely Nature Dan. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Sorry, I'm here. I had stream up. I was making sure I could hear us talking. And I can hear you, so we should be good now.
No problem.
Okay. Happy to be with everybody. Let's go ahead and get right into the band since we're a little bit behind. That's Blitzcrank's Fist Crank spanning out the Kled, the Renekton, and the Malzahar away from four tops. And on the other side, the Hecarim, the Volibear, and the Diana band away. Looks like that is a triple ban coming in against Malcolm for Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. And on the other side, that is, of course, two of Necroguy's main champions taken away from him. Both of those champions were banned at least once from Necroguy last week. And the Malzahar was banned away from Panda both games last week, so these are some pretty common bans for both sides after week 1. The first pick, Sivir coming in for Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. But that's really hard for me to say. Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. And the answer so far is the Mordekaiser Hover, which was banned against four tops both games last week as a top jungle flex, since Garfield Juice has been practicing a lot of Mordekaiser jungle since the clear buffs came in. And of course, they could also go top lane. So, not locked in yet. And finally, it is. And the Leona immediately after that, which is, I believe, Hodor Nation's main support as well. So, speeding through here. Nautilus on the other side is No Not November's, of course. It's in his name. That's his main support. And the Sejuani coming in there from Malcolm. So some front line here for the Sivir on Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. And we'll see what the last pick is for phase 1 for four tops.
So far, I'm kind of liking the draft of Blitzcrank Fist Cranks. I like the first pick Sivir here, just because I think that Sivir is Guy Fierich's most comfortable champion, and also counters one of Guy Fierich's other most commonly played champion is Ezreal. Sivir actually is very good into Ezreal just because you can actually just wave clear anything that he wants to do. And there's the Anivia pick from four tops to the bot, coming in for Link Panda.
Yep, that was played once by Panda last week as well. So some familiar picks from week 1, as again, this is week 2. So we're going to go into second phase. The Talon ban coming out. I guess that's banned away from Chaotic Sword, who does like to play his assassins in the mid lane. And answered by the Ashe, which could be played by multiple players for four tops. Last pick, Silas. Gonna take away that. I think that is also just going to be a ban against Chaotic Sword. I don't think anybody else on that team plays that.
The Jinx banned away from Guy Fieric. I actually haven't seen much of Jinx from Guy Fieric, but at the same time, Jinx is the primary, the best AD carry right now in the League of Legends. So
yeah, extremely powerful. Really good for team fight. Scales really well. Is a good hyper carry. So it's actually going to be the Tristana locked in there after those AD carry bans. Most likely, we didn't talk about any possible like role swaps, but I don't think there's going to be much, at least from four top side. So most likely Guy Fieric on the AD carry on the Tristana with Leona. So that is a lot of all-in potential with the Leona going in and the Tristana jumping in and getting down her E for a lot of early burst damage, so they like the all-in potential. On the other side, Gangplank, that is definitely a Murphy. You say, is it Raudet? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's Raudet.
Raudet. Murphy Raudet played Gangplank both games last week. We know that's pretty much his main top laner, so for sure we're going to see him in the top lane. And, Hoagie is going to like that one, the Cassiopeia taken for Chaotic Sword.
I've seen Chaotic Sword play that champion. I think he's pretty proficient on the champion. And right now Cassiopeia is in a really good spot right now, especially after the E mana buffs. It's actually very nice on the champion because that ability is spammed so much of that ability on that champion. So you can spam it even more now because because that numbers add up. The mana cost plus.
And the last pick coming in for 4 tops is going to be the Urgot. Surely that is going to be on Necro Guy on the top side, which means it is the Mordekaiser flexed into the jungle, like I mentioned, could have been earlier for Garfield Juice. I haven't really seen anybody else playing much Mordekaiser jungle since they did buff his clear speed. But I know Garfield Juice has been playing it, and I've heard him say himself that he likes it. Yeah, the ganking is not the best. Because all he has is the E. The clear speed is crazy, and if your lane has gank set up like Leona stun does, or an Anivia stun, or even the Urgot with the disdain to flip him behind, he can follow up on his lanes with the gank setup. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Mordekaiser. At the very least, he's going to be a good power farmer.
It's going to not only be a good power farmer, but it's also going to be really good at dueling Sejuani and testing those for scuttle count. So it's going to be very nice. The passive especially is going to be very nice to contest scuttle grabs. So I'm expecting a lot of dueling coming out from the jungle.
Ignorant thralls.
The bot lane matchup is, I think, more favored towards Leona Tristana. Just because if Leona hooks the wrong target, like a Leona or something like that, Leona can just use that as a free engage and just follow up with the Tristana Leona. It's like a very punishing lane for that. That being said, I think Sivir is very safe. Can just throw Qs, spell shield any Leona stun. So I think bot lane's matchup is going to be a lot more aggressive, I think, than people will expect it to be, considering it's a Sivir lane. But
yeah, I think it is going to be hard. I think both of these lanes have good answers to the support's engage. You talked about the Sivir spell shield on the Leona. Tristana has the rocket jump, which you can even buffer if you time it right onto the dredge line from the Nautilus. Or even if he's hit by it, he can still rocket jump after if he doesn't get bursted. So both of these AD carries do have some defensive capability. You might want to watch for the like kind of the counter engage. Like if one tries to go in and the AD carry uses the rocket jump or the spell shield to negate the initial engage, then that lane can turn it the other way. So that's going to be a lot, kind of watching that dance and seeing if they're going to use the timings on the spell shield or the rocket jump
absolutely,
mechanics.
I think
Going to play a lot in that.
I definitely think that's going to be the game breaker there. Mid lane's just going to be a farm fest for the most part. I don't think they have a huge kill pressure. I mean, if Sejuani comes in with a nice gank onto the Anivia, Cassiopeia can follow it up with a Miasma, or Anivia can try to disengage it with a wall. So I think mid lane's going to be a little stale. I think top lane, I feel like Urgot wins that early matchup, just because Urgot is a range champion and could just harass Gangplank off a farm. But I don't know. I don't play Gangplank. I don't play top lane. So
yeah, I don't. Top lane is not necessarily my forte. I do agree that I think it's going to be favored for Urgot early, but I don't think Gangplank has to worry too much as long as he's not just being careless. He'll be happy to just kind of sit back and farm with his parlay and stuff like that, and scale.
absolutely.
So,
Who do you think is going to win this game?
Last week 4 tops did pull out the 2-0. So they had a little bit more convincing of a week 1 versus Blitzcranks. Fistcranks had a 1-1. Going even, and this is actually something that I wanted to talk about. So I looked at some of the numbers from week 1, and kind of the story for Blitzcranks Fistcranks was game 1 to game 2 were like as completely polar opposite as you can be in their 1-1. It wasn't like both games were close and then in the end they just kind of eked one win out or anything. They basically stomped game 1. If I remember, it might have been game 2. They might have been switched.
It was game 1. It was game 1 because the Diana
Okay.
got out of control.
Yeah, so they in game 1, their team kill death ratio was over 2 as a team. They had first blood, they had the first tower, they had all of the Rift Heralds. They were 4 for 4 on dragons, and they had the only Baron of the game. So game 1, they controlled every objective. They had a great kill death score. They basically just kind of completely controlled that game all the way through. Game 2, kind of the opposite. Their KD game 2 was only 0.57. They did not get Rift Herald. They did not get First Blood, First Turret. They lost Baron. They only had 1 dragon. So, really, it was just like consistency. Looked super strong one game and really not strong the next. So it's kind of hard to predict on this team. You can see the potential that they have when they're on it, but
And the
in week 1 they
composition
also
by itself.
showed
I think you have to
right.
also consider the composition that you're going with, because I think Blitzcrank Fizzcrank theoretically has an easier comp to execute, right? You have a Nautilus hook, you have a Sejuani ultimate, Sejuani engage in general. You could just follow it up with like a Miasma or Xiver Q, or the other either if the Nautilus started it, Sejuani can follow. If Sejuani started, Nautilus can follow. Like and
Yeah.
since Nautilus, Sejuani, and Gangplank are all melee champions, it can also help Sejuani proc or passive, proc or E passive, like pretty easy to execute. So I think in terms of ease of execution, I think Blitzcranks Fistcranks have it. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
give my game 1 to Blitzcrank Fistcrank. However, that being said, I think four tops and a bottom, um, I think does have a clear win condition with, I think, but it all comes down to uh, the Leona engage, or even the Anivia stun. I think those are going to be the game breaking win conditions for them as well.
Yeah, I do think that Blitzcrank's comp is probably, like you said, a little bit easier to execute. They have a pretty good team fight. You know, they have the beefy Nautilus and Sejuani, and some really good DPS in the Sivir and the Cass. Gangplank adds a wrinkle to that, where he could kind of just be split pushing and then use his ult to help a team fight, or if he is it, he can join a team fight, especially if he's looking, gets a big barrel chain. So they're pretty solid with a 4-1 or just a grouped 5. So I like that added Gangplank. And like I said, on the other side, the engage is pretty lacking outside of the Leona. Urgot and Mordekaiser can be kited pretty easily. But they have a lot of really good tools in skirmishes if they are executing properly. And the zone control from the Anivia. So there's a lot of more outplay potential on their side, but it is also a little bit easier for Blitzcranks. So I agree with you. You know what? I am gonna go ahead and agree with you and say Blitzcranks, I think, takes game 1. I think it's gonna be pretty close.
I just think it's just easier to execute. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it's the easiest to execute. Granted, there are some mismatched matchups. I think definitely Nautilus Nautilus Sivir definitely does not beat Leona Tristana. Absolutely not. However, that being said, Sivir does have ability to scale, especially with that Dark Harvest setup. And Cassiopeia is definitely going to scale as well. And so is Gangplank, obviously. So like, I think that's going to be just okay. Just that bot lane matchup's kind of mismatched in their favor, in Four Top's favor, but and same with top lane's favored, but it's Urgot
we need
favored.
to
However,
real fast. We need to coordinate with our streamer.
yes,
Because
pause. Dan, by the way,
he
Dan,
has gone past that. Dan, if you can talk to us, pause your game.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
pause your game. Dan, just give me one moment. I will give him a message as well. Oh, he can
I'm
hear
here.
us. Okay.
I'm
perfect.
here. I'm listening.
He's paused.
Okay, what
Awesome,
what time stamp are you at in your game?
42 seconds.
Okay,
42 seconds.
so
Okay.
you just stay there. We'll let our we need to make sure that
Get our
our
support.
cameras are all synced up. So
Okay.
we'll let the time run, and we'll all pause it again at 42 seconds, and then.
I'm already at 42 seconds.
Okay, I paused mine earlier, so I have to wait for mine. But
Understood. We all loaded at different times.
yep.
Okay. So, before we continue, Dan, I just want you to drag down Tristana to like all the champions to the right positions.
Can
Tristana to AD carry.
Can I do that in the client?
Yes, you can do that in the client. Put it in game. I'm watching for you. No worries.
Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Boom.
Okay, I'm paused now. So, so Dan, since you're the one in charge of the video, you count down 3, 2, 1, and then on 0, all of us will play at the same time.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Oops.
Okay, so we should all be good here. Let's go ahead and look at this in the bot river. We have 2 5-stacks, and now here comes the invade. It is going to be Blitzcranks, Fixcranks with No Not November leading the way, and they're going to wrap around. And no, they're not going to wrap around. They're just sitting in the bush. Here, there's the wards that are going to see it, and so there's just going to be 1 ward killed, and that is going to be it. So there's going to be no action. There's the recall from Murphy on the gangplank, so that could have been spicy. If they would have kept walking around, we would have seen the 5-man. But they're just going to play it safe. The 1 ward kill, though, gives No Not November the 1 CS lead for lane, so the lane's already over.
Okay.
Anyway, the ward is going to spot. They did know.
What's the time on? I just lagged slightly. Can you
39, 40, 41, 42.
Oh, what? Is that a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm way ahead. Okay, just went ahead for a second. Let me know. I'm just slowing it down. Let me know when it's at 2 minutes. I'll catch up.
57, 58, 59, 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm good now.
Okay, so we saw. Wow, actually, I want to point this out. Garfield Juice, doing a. Oh, never mind. We're gonna see the hook in bot lane is gonna land on the Hodor Nation. That's a lot of damage. And mid lane, we're gonna go. Here's the trade. Shadow Farts is putting in a lot of damage with the Twin Fang, and he is running himself kind of out of mana. He dodges the Glacial Frostbite, Flash Freeze, I think is what it's called. So really nicely done there from Shadow Farts. He did kind of run himself low on mana. While I mention that name, I have to check. Is Shadow Farts Chaotic Sword on a different account?
No, it's.
Do we know?
It's just a name change. It's a name change.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Okay, so same mid laner. Okay. But yeah, trades in the mid and the bot lane is the Disdain, but he's going to go into turret range. The shield will block most of that, however, and Murphy Roddit loses out on some health, and he's already really low on mana, and the wave here is going to be kind of sitting.
He also had to burn TP because he did forget to buy items level 1, so he did have to like back for items and then come back.
Oh, thank you for that. I didn't even see that happened. So, oh, here's the Zenith Blade. It goes wide. Spell Shield would have blocked it. Nicely timed from Labby, but it didn't hit anyway. So that's actually a small feels bad for Labby because he doesn't get the mana back since it didn't actually block anything. But still nicely timed from him. We missed a lot of the jungle pathing from everything going on, but it does look like Garfield Juice got the top scuttle, and now Malcolm is on the bot scuttle. So far the junglers mostly keeping pace with each other and trading the 1 scuttle, as they are both going to be on the bot side of the map. Malcolm is already in position here for a possible gank, but his lane is kind of pushed in, so that's going to be hard. The dredge line goes right through the uprights, and there's the Zenith Blade, and the Spell Shield is blocks the stun from Hodor Nation, but he has to flash because, like I said, Malcolm is in the bush waiting. There's also the heal from Guy Fieric to make sure that his fort is going to stay alive. And there's another hook coming back in on the Guy Fieric, but he just turns the bonk and roots Hodor Nation in place. His first blood is going to come out for Labyrinth 1898.
Unfortunately, Hodor Nation did go in a little early there. I think kind of just like went back in after kind of went low. I kind of would have not wanted to see that, especially since health is the most valuable stat when it comes to playing engaged supports like that. But
yeah, just really nicely timed there from Malcolm to be sitting there. And as soon as the Leona takes the Zenith Blade in there, he knows he can just walk right in. So it's going to result in the first kill in the game. If you're at it really low down here, he's going to interrupt. Ooh, Labyrinth was about to interrupt his own supports back with the explosive charge there from Tristana, so he canceled it anyway. Mordekaiser, since he did not gank, has just been farming, and he does have a small camp lead here. It's not really that significant compared to the kill that went over, so...
I would kind of like to see No Not kind of engage there, but that's okay. As you saw, Guy Fieric actually burnt his not Buster Shot, but his E on a minion, so therefore his damage DPS is actually a lot lower.
True.
Diminished on a trade, so would have loved to see that, but that's okay.
Yeah, so there was the first potential look at a gank from Garfield Juice in the mid lane, but he was spotted on a ward, so we just backed out. Cheetah Farts was positioning safely, and it's going to be first backs. For him, he rushes the Magic Pen Boots on Mordekaiser, so he wants the move speed. As I mentioned earlier, his ganks can be a little lackluster without any CC of his own, so he wants the early rank 2 boots, I guess, for potential gank walking in the lane.
Yep.
So we'll see what he does with his movement. There's another really good trade from Necro Guy in the top side. But here's Malcolm. He did not have it warded, and Malcolm is there. The flash is out already. The Cannon Barrage is not really going to do much, but there's the stun from Malcolm XYZ. Murphy flashes for the Q, and the passive is going to make sure he bleeds out. Bot side, we're going to see a potential engage here. Never mind. No Not does not go for it. But that is a nice kill on the top side. Here is the engage going on to Guy Fieric. He does not immediately rocket jump, and he finally does use it there. But here's Garfield Juice for the gank. The flash out of 18-9 Labyrinth is going to make sure that he stays alive, and the Boomerang Blade does a little damage. The pullback is going to do a little bit of damage on a No Not November, but nothing else can come out of that. That is both sums taken, though, from Labyrinth 1898. Mid lane, Cheeto Farts dancing on the balance there. Of life and death, barely makes it out from the damage of Fling Panda.
I think that was a really good engage from No Not November onto Guy Fieric. I think caught Guy Fieric out of the rocket jumps so that he can buffer it. I think that was a pretty good job for him.
Oh, there's another stun coming in, but it's going to put him under turret. He's going to lose a lot of health for that, and not much health traded back from Hodor Nation, so little mistake there.
Yeah, I don't think I mind it, considering Mordekaiser wasn't going to get there very quickly anyways, because, it's Mordekaiser, and Tristana already bagged. So I think that wasn't a bad one.
Looking for a little bit of damage, but he is actually down a level, thanks to the 2 ganks that Malcolm XYZ has pulled off. He knows that BFC's bot lane went back, so he was maybe trying to harass Malcolm a little bit, but his lane was not following up. They were pushed, picking up that mini wave. Top side, here's another engage from Necro Guy. Murphy Rodit opts to not walk back to turret, and that is going to be an easy... Oh,
it's a nice orange.
He uses the orange there to prevent the fear beyond death. He's going to stay alive and heal up a little bit, so still down here in health, but that is the ultimate gone from Necro Guy.
That is a great interaction. I forgot about that.
Yep, I thought as soon as the ult came out, I was like, oh, he's dead. But Murphy knows the champion, so he was not too worried about it. Bot side, Malcolm is here again. They are potentially looking at this Drake. I don't know if they've seen Garfield Juice on a ward lately, if they know he's topside, but they're just going to go ahead and start up the first dragon of the game. Garfield Juice, we can see on the mini map, is actually just on Rift Herald. So they're going to trade here Dragon for Rift Herald. And this is something that, I can't bring it up yet because we haven't engaged in the top side. Disdain is going to pull Murphy Rada. He's taking a lot of damage though, and that's going to be a parlay. Bam! Taken down for another kill for Murphy Rada.
Yeah, that is indeed an interaction, Karut. 328. It is indeed an interaction, and orange actually cleanses Mordekai's roll. Well, not Mordekai's roll. It also cleanses Mordekai's roll, but Urgot ult.
Yeah, we see nicely done there. Necro guy looks good when he gets the, I think it's called Disdain, where he flips him behind him. Any initial damage there, but Murphy Rada turning it around and just shoots him in the head there for that kill. So I wanted to bring it up as we were watching, well, we weren't watching it, but in the minimap we could tell the teams were on opposite objectives on opposite sides of the map. This is something that I noticed. Oh, never mind. We're going to see another engagement to the bot side. And the depth charge right away. Guy Fieric has the flash. The Unite's ticking down, and the Boomerang Blade is going to finish it off. Labyrinth 1898 and No Not are putting on a show. Here's Malcolm XYZ, though. Full Health Leona is not the easiest dive target. They could look for it if they wanted it, but he's just going to back off. Tries to stun Labby under the turret, but there was still a minion to tank it up, so there's no more damage. No Not November and Labyrinth 1898 doing a lot of work down here. They have a nice CS lead. They have, is that 2 turret plates now? And 2 kills onto Labyrinth 1898. So this is going to be a strong Sivir here. A lot faster than you normally would see.
I think I'm really digging No Not's performance here on this Nautilus. I think he's been able to find really nice engages onto the Tristana. So something to keep watch out for Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. That's
Oh, we see a ping in the mid lane as Cheeto Farts is just hitting the turret, but here comes Garfield Juice right from behind, and he's going to get the shield to prevent a lot of this damage. There's the Q. It does so much solo damage, but he can't get help from playing Panda because he was in the death realm, and the flash over the wall, Cheeto Farts outplays that one, and he walks out.
Absolutely great job from the Cassiopeia. Knows that damage output coming in from...
Oh, Cannon Barrage is going to slow down Guy Fieric. Here's the flash, Dredge Line, and Guy Fieric cannot go anywhere. There's another stun from Malcolm XYZ. He's going to pick up that kill. They're going to keep this going. Never mind, they're going to call off the dive. But another kill. It is 6-0. Blitzcrank's Blitzcranks are piling it on in the early game.
Oh my gosh, this Nautilus is popping off, dude. But but now if you can press X to look at the gold for me for a brief moment, and now the Sivir has a 1k. Oh,
here's another, but Labyrinth is tanking, so he can't stand there in DPS. He's gonna take the Zenith Blade though, and he has to flash out, but there's the return from Labyrinth 1898. There's the killing spree. Garfield Juice wants to finish this off, but it's too much CC. The double kill. That's a 4-0 Sivir, and Labyrinth 1898 is popping off.
Oh my gosh, great peel coming out from No Not November as well. The Dredge Line to prevent the Mordekaiser to do more damage onto the Sivir. I love it to see it when hook champions such as Blitzcrank, Thresh uses those abilities.
The disdain from Necro Guy misses. There's still a lot of damage though. There's the Fear Beyond Death. He wants to make Murphy heal before he pops the R, and he does not quite do it, but he flashes into the... Wow, Murphy flashed into the kneecap proc, but was able to still walk away. Here, both junglers... Never mind, that's going to be the hook onto Anivia, who gets turned into Agnivia. There's the pullback from Garfield Juice. Oh, but that stun from Cheeto Farts was really nice to make sure that he doesn't go down. And there's the re-engage on the hook. Northern November is tanky enough. He's going to walk out a double kill for Cheeto Farts, and then it's now 10-0. Here's... The Solar Flare goes wide, but the Zenith Blade does not. Hodor Nation finally gets the first kill of the game, but looks like another kill is going to go down here as Necro Guy is running for his life. He's going to get stunned up, and he goes down. Killing spree for Murphy Rada. It's 11-1. It's a 4,000 golding, and Blitzcrank's Fixcranks have their foot on the pedal.
Now the question is, how do four tops and a bot come back actually? Because they're actually, you need to think about that as well, like, right? Because you have to think about lose conditions. Because teams, even with this kind of, it's just a 4k gold lead at the moment, right? you can definitely come back from this. It's definitely throwable. So you have to think about like what's their win con, right?
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So what do you think their win con is? I have my thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure at this point. They needed to not fall this far behind because their team fight is just not going to be nearly as clean as the Nautilus, Sejuani, and the high DPS carries behind it. Like,
Red team has slain the
they are
dragon.
going to be able to answer this dragon to make sure that they're not going to get an early dragon soul, but they're down so many kills and down 5,000 gold at only 15 minutes. They have a lot of damage potential. Like 4 of their 5 members can do a lot of damage, but they're also far behind. It's just, maybe if they are able to just farm it out for a while and find a couple of shutdowns, maybe it'll be a different game in 5 minutes. But
It definitely can be a different game because if you press X and if you look at the gold difference, right? Bot's like 2k gone, like it's gone. Bot lane's gone, right? The Labby's way too far ahead. Labby and Nona is way too far ahead compared to Hodor and Guy Fieri. But if you look at mid and top lane, they're actually no, not top lane's also kind of gone. But if you look at the jungle and mid matchup, like it's kind of even, right? And Anivia's main strength comes from just like wave clearing and stalling out the game for so long. They theoretically can. You could just press X back again if you want, Dan. But to go back to regular items. But that being said, I think what four tops and a bot need to do, I think, is to start wave clearing. It's just like do some damage mitigation. Wave clear a little bit. Give up that bot tower. That bot tower is so dead. Oh no! They didn't
another
give it
dredge
up.
line is going to come in. The Depth Charger's nowhere that Guy Fieri can go. That's an easy pickup. Unstoppable is Labyrinth 1898, and they're just going to keep this train a-going. Yeah, the other thing too, like, that just makes it even harder is you look at Cassiopeia, Sivir, Gangplank also scale really well into the late game. And
Especially
so when
Dark
you
Arts.
have those carries that are supposed to scale that are already hitting power spikes this early into the game, I just feel like it doesn't get earlier or easier. As
No, it does
top
not.
side, we see an attempt here to gank, but Necroguy wasn't quite there to follow up, and the cannon barrage means Garfield just has to walk away, and they can't even 2v1 him. As here is Malcolm and Cheeto Farts here looking for Garfield juice, but they're not going to try to go over the wall. They're just going to back out of that one.
I think the saving grace here has to be the Anivia, I think. And there's a reason why I permaban Anivia whenever I play mid lane, but like her wave clear and ability to stall out game is like crazy good. So I believe in Panda's ability to be able to stall out the game here with a nicely timed Glacial Storm. It's just a matter of how long they can stall this game out until the game is over.
Yep, so that was the second Rift Herald of the game we saw briefly. Now in the hands of Malcolm for BFC. They're just going to drop it mid. The charge itself is not going to kill this turret. It will make it really low, and they're actually going to do a lot of damage to it before it can even get the charge. But they're just going to use that opportunity to engage. Garfield Juice puts Nona November in the death realm, but I don't think he even has enough damage to finish him off, as we didn't even see it on screen. Hodor Nation goes down. That's a double kill for Labyrinth 1898. And yes, oh, never mind. They were still going. There's a flash hook following up Malcolm's Glacial Prison, or whatever her Sejuani ult is called. That's another death and another turret, and it is just now ballooning this gold lead into more than 8,000, and we haven't hit 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is a little feels bad for four tops and bot, I think here. Like at this point, Sivir is massive. Already has like 2 items, the Muramana as well as the Essence Reaper. I'm guessing that's going to be like close to a Duskblade as well. It's going to be a Duskblade Sivir. That's going to be a pretty massive Sivir here, and the Tristana's only sitting on a Gale Force and a Berserker. It's like,
yeah, the item disparity is already coming in really big, because that's 2.5 items. Not yet the Mystic item for Labby, but still, I'm going to have advantage over Guy Fieric. Top lane, we're seeing Murphy Roditz probably pretty close to his shoot, Sterix Gauge. That's what it is. I think that's what he's building second, and he already has the Triforce, so he's already really far ahead of Necro Guy. That is the Frozen, the Iceborne Gauntlet, whatever the new version of that is called.
Frostborn Gauntlet.
Frostfire. For
Frostfire, yep.
no, not November, which is
I don't
not
love it.
not normally what I see. Because I don't think you have to worry about the slow zone. Like
Yeah,
you have enough CC to lock people in place. I don't think you need to worry about the slow. I personally take Turbo Chem Tank on Nautilus almost every time. But here's Cheeto Farts. He wants this blue buff. Garfield Juice has smite, so he can just smite it away, and he gets stunned because he's just does not need to be there. And that is how you get the other team back into the game. Is you get picked off like that. But on the other side, that is just going to be straight onto the Baron. This is a little early to do it right at 20 minutes, so it takes them a while, but there is no response at all from Four Tops and a bot, so that will be a 20-minute and 45-second Baron here taken. And yes, they lost the shutdown on the Cheeto Farts, but they get the Baron, so they're going to keep the gold lead the same, and now they have the Baron buff. Everybody wearing purple. Well, everybody except Cheeto Farts, because he was dead.
Unlucky. Feels bad.
But that kill went to the kill went to Garfield Juice, so he's the one who got the shutdown. He turned that into the Hextech Rocket Belt.
Yep. I think that's going to be pretty good, actually, catching into Sivir. Because Sivir's not going to have any escape, so like you can theoretically just like burst down to Sivir. I mean, it's still an ADC. Sorry, ADC players. You're still squishy. You're still going to die without peel. Sorry. No way to avoid that.
She is one, though, that is, like I said, Mordekaiser, pretty easy to kite even with the Rocket Belt if she just activates her ultimate and just runs away. She can spell shield the pullback from the Mordekaiser E and then just run away with all the move speed from her ult. Shouldn't be too much to worry about, of course, unless she gets put in the Death Realm and she can't run away, but...
I mean, yeah, she can't
regardless,
run away from the Death Realm.
Yeah, I do think that she probably could still 1v1 Mordekaiser at this point with the items she has, with the item lead she has. So, the problem about having a Baron this early is that I feel like it's kind of hard to press the advantage. You see they have control over minion waves, but they haven't yet threatened any additional structures. Maybe they'll be looking at pushing down mid turret here, since they are all mid except for Murphy. Necro Guy cleaning up the top wave, and he's going to be able to join the team after he does that. So yeah, it's still not too threatened, as finally they do get the pressure on the inner turret on the mid lane. So that is going to be nice, but oh, they're just going to pop the movement speed from Sivir to rotate really quickly over here while they have this next wave coming up. So they are going to get another inner turret because there's nobody here to clear it out. So that is going to be 2 inner turrets taken. We'll see if they're going to actually infiltrate the base, though. This is where it's easier for them to defend. Anivia is pretty good at stalling out the game at this point with the Glacial Storm and her zone control, even against Baron minions. So we'll see. It's going to be hard for them to break this base open, but they are grouped as 5 in the bot lane.
However, Sivir can also match the wave clear with her own with her own ricochet and boomerang toss. So like,
yep. There's the stun, and the heal comes out of Labby as he was tanking the turret. So the miasma is gonna prevent any more follow up, but that might dissuade Four Tops to get out of here, and it does. They're gonna pop the ultimate just to make sure they can get out and get the recalls off. So that's probably going to be the end to the Baron push. I know they have more time on it. I think. No, maybe it did just wear off. I lost track of time. So yeah, they did extend their lead from 8,000 to 10,000. So they have a little bit more gold.
And that is pretty good works for Four Tops and a bot. I think this is the plus side of having an Anivia in your team, right? You can just literally just like press R, and all that minion just disappears like magic.
Yep, I agree. I'm gonna call out Gerg7 in the chat. Murphy really needs to split push. He has TP and they had Baron. I agree. I think they would have made more use out of that if he was maybe topside, splitting them up. That's your professional League of Legends coach in the chat chiming in right there. So shout out to Gerg7. Regardless, they do still have a really nice gold lead, and this is going to be the third dragon of the game if they are able to get it. Oh, never mind. Here's the engage. The instant Sivir ultimate to lock this one down. Garfield Juice is going to buy some time because he puts Malcolm inside the Death Realm. Here's the TP from Neko Guy, but he's kind of by himself. There's the CC coming out. No one's dead. Finally, there's 2 kills for the side of Blitzcranks. Leona and Urgot are gone. And 4 tops were just 2 split. And they took advantage of the instant engage with the Sivir move speed to lock that one down. This is not Dragon Soul, however, this puts them on Soul Point with the 3rd dragon of the game for Blitzcranks. And there's the flash from Guy Fieric to get over the wall to make sure he doesn't get CC'd by No Not. And nice engage is going to keep BFC in control.
This is crazy. This is crazy performance. I think coming out of No Not November. I think gotta give a shout out to the guy. I think he's playing very well this game. Playing like a monster.
Yeah, we talked about before the game, how Tristana is a champion that should be capable of getting out of that engage if she's able to time the rocket jump right. But we did not see that in the lane at all. Guy Fieric not executing on that well enough, and No Not just being really smart about his timing, and they got a big lead off of that in the early game, and just continued to push it through.
Also, I think it's very smart for it was very smart for No Not to be able to play around Leona as well, because that theoretically and on paper matchup, I think Leona wins, because like Leona gets that innate tankiness from the W, the Eclipse. Well, Nautilus does not actually have that kind of innate tankiness other than from the shield and aftershock. So, I think shout out to No Not in able to, despite that disadvantage, being able to come out on top.
Yep, I don't think that you want to be pulling No Not in at this point. Here's the engage, and instantly the Death Realm is started from Garfield Juice. Hodor Nation is running for his life. He has to flash away. Garfield Juice cannot even kill No Not November, the support in the Death Realm, because he is that far behind. That's another kill for Labyrinth 1898. Hodor Nation did get out with his life, but that is the jungler dead, and I think BFC is going to turn that right onto the Baron.
Yeah. Labby's just too big. Labby has 3 items. Didn't even go for the mythic. There's no mythic. It just went for Charlotte's Grudge, which literally just shreds through tanks like paper. Doesn't even.
Do you believe in the fleeing panda, Anivia, flash freeze, steal over the wall? Oh no! It looked like it could have been close. It might not have been close, but regardless, that is the 2nd Baron of the game, and we're only not even 28 minutes, and we're saying 2 Barons already for BFC. This time I want to see them for sure pushing in, taking advantage of the Gangplank split and pressuring 2 lanes at once, and I definitely need to see them breaking into the base, which they did not do with the first Baron. So we'll see how they set this up. The recalls are kind of weirdly timed out, as Malcolm XYZ is finally recalling from top lane after he got the shove, so they're not going to be quite all timed together as they're pushing these lanes, and still some of them are running out of base, but they're so far ahead that I don't think they really need to worry about being too cautious. Right now we see Gangplank helped escort the mid wave in, but now he is walking top. I would like to see him just sit top lane and maybe the other 4 sit mid. So we'll see. It looks like that's potentially what they're going to be doing. They had the bot wave pushing in as well, as Guy Fieric is there to potentially answer that, and he's actually going to walk away as Flame Panda walks over there. They do have pretty good control over all of this bot side jungle. There's the Sivir ult just to help the team rotate. I don't feel like that was necessary. But oh wow, look at the damage Fling Panda took from one Boomerang Blade from Sivir.
Oh,
That is crazy.
yeah, that's a fed Sivir. Like Essence Reaver with Manamune and Estrelda's Grudge.
Yeah, Panda, I don't know if he has Egg, but regardless, he needs to get out of there. There's an easy turret going down. Depth charge is coming out. That's a big knock-up, and there's the Sidwani ultimate to lock down, and Guy Fierica is going to go down to the poison from Cheeto Farts. Fear Beyond Death is going to kill Cassiopeia. Maybe that's what they need to be able to defend their base, but it is still a 3v4 with the Baron buff. It's going to be hard. There's a nice pullback from Mordekaiser. Damage is coming out pretty big. There's another shutdown as Blitzcrank is down. The Death Realm is going to lock up Malcolm XYZ. That's another kill for Garfield Juice, and while they did lose members and one Nexus turret, the Nexus stands.
Yeah, I guess Anivia, Anivia is still a good wave play forever.
Wow, so yeah, you would say that's definitely worth, even though you lost 3 members, you held on to the base, you got some shutdowns, so some gold is coming across. It is going to be, I don't know what the gold lead was at before that, but it is now, was still huge. Still like 13,000. Oh, here's a TP. Looks like Fling Panda wants to cut off these guys' escape, but he might just go down before his team can even respond. Oh no, it's the double TP, and Fling Panda walled himself out of there, but there's the Disdain does not flip. No, not November, but he's not going to be able to get away from this, is he? There's the Stride Breaker, and Necro Guy is still chasing him down. A Dredge Line would save him. He's not going to, he doesn't have enough mana to use it. There's the Fear Beyond Death, and the Fear is going to make sure that Cheeto Farts can't chase him up, and more important than that, that was the dragon secured, so there was no Ocean Soul for Blitzcrank. So suddenly, a lot has been brought back here from 4 top, but they're still at a massive deficit.
Gosh. Yeah,
wow.
Great.
They're hanging on.
They're hanging on to their life. Great double TP actually coming from the solo laners there. I think with the item completions that they have on Anivia, I think this game is totally winnable. Like I think with Anivia's like Leandries and completed Seraph, I think it's like wave clearable. I think. And stall it out until like Urgot gets like a couple more items. I don't know what the Urgot's power spec is. I think Gargoyles. But, like you just need more items than that Tristana.
Yeah, I agree. Here's another ultimate from Sivir just to get the team moving in here, marching towards this bot lane turret and inhibitor. But I don't know. These Sivir ults have been kind of weird to me. It might be on a low cooldown because it does look like it's coming up. It's coming up pretty fast, so I guess it's not a big deal. But
yeah, they have they have like 40-something% CDR now.
Yeah.
Because of the 4 items that they have.
Yeah, and still no mythic, with the collector coming in 4th. So, when you're this far ahead, it doesn't really matter. I do think
it takes over.
He could have capped out his damage faster, and there's the flash from Murphy Rodet to make sure he gets over the wall. So that's an important cooldown as well on this Gangplank taken away. So we'll see how that might affect things in the future. Super Minions are getting close to the Nexus up top, so Necro Guy has to play cleanup duty in the top lane while the rest of the team is trying to defend onto their bot lane. Here's the Glacial Storm. There is no Baron buff on the minions, so they go down really fast to Anivia damage at this point. So again, like you were talking about, having Anivia at this point of the game is really beneficial without the Baron buff to clear out these waves. Necro Guy is able to join the team for a second while the top lane has been pushed out for now. And we're still just posturing here. Baron is going to be spawning within the next 30 seconds. Glacial Storm again, clearing out the wave, not stepping up to take this down. So kind of the same thing we've been seeing for the last minute.
I think...
go ahead.
I really think Murphy Rodet needs to like create some sort of split pressure. Or like do something with a split pressure that Murphy Rodet's bringing, just because like I feel like this game is like very stalling right now for Blitzcrank's victory. I think this is their game to like in their bag if they can capitalize on their advantage they have at the moment.
Yeah, they are going to use their pressure to be all on the Baron, or not all of them. Actually, there's only 2 people on it right now, so it's not losing too much health yet. And 4 Tops is able to walk over here, although that is a lot of damage again. Oh, Garfield Juice taking a Boomerang Blade and a barrel to the face. He's going to be half health. No November, he's tanky enough. He doesn't have to worry too much about the damage. The flash in the steel is not going to be there for Garfield Juice. That is the Baron going down. Necro Guy was bot lane. He didn't even have TP to join that one up. So a desperate steal attempt, but that is going to be the Baron of the game going for BFC. The top inhibitor did respawn for 4 Tops in a bot. But they're just marching it straight down. Here's the TP into the bot lane from Murphy Rodet so they can continue to pressure multiple lanes. Glacial Storm, a lot less effective when the Barons have the magic damage protection from Baron buff, but it is still, at this point, going to be pretty good in clearing these.
Yeah, but don't remember, Anivia can only be in one place. You still have
Right.
Gangplank and Cassiopeia.
Oh, that's a nice dredge line, and the depth charge is going to knock them both up. Ignivia is procced instantly, and it's going to go down. Hordor Nation is really low. He's going to be the next one to fall. That's 2 kills. There's a kill from Sivir on the backside, and now it's all over. Double kill for Murphy Rodet, and another kill is Labyrinth 1898. Cleans up that team fight, and Blitzcranks controlling the game from the start will take game 1.
That is a very clean game coming in from Blitzcranks Fistcranks. As we predicted, they did have the easier to execute comp, and therefore took the first game. No Caster's Curse for you. You're welcome.
Kappa.
But that being said, who do you think gets game 1 MVP? I am a strong believer to saying that I think No Not gets it no-brainer. But that's my opinion. I think No Not definitely pulled a show for the Nautilus. I think he wholeheartedly deserves the MVP. Sick Pulls, very smart engages coming in from No Not. I think good way to counteract the counter matchup. Technically, it's technically a counter matchup with Leona. Leona's Tristana, it's very much a counter matchup, but played around that very well. I think I would have to give it to No Not.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say no-brainer just because I think everybody on BFC played extremely well. I think Murphy Rodet, his laning was also really good. He was being pressured. He was being pressured into turret by Necro Guy, but he got a couple of solo kills. Obviously knowing the matchup, knowing he can get out of the Fear Beyond Death from Urgot, and I think Malcolm XYZ also did a really good job with his pathing. He got some really good ganks off in the bot lane early, which also helped the snowball for the Sivir. So I think there's a lot of names you can mention, but I do agree that No Not is probably the one who sticks out in my mind. The hooks he was basically an automatic hook bot down there, and his engages were I think what was the most standout to me. So do you I've never made a straw poll before. Do you do that? Can you do that?
I did it already.
You did already? Okay, cool.
I already have made one. I already did it. So there you go. All right. Here you go.
So everybody in chat,
chat,
hit the link. Make your own votes. Don't just listen to Hoagie and me. Make your own decision.
Yeah, make your own decisions, obviously. My vote still goes to No Not. I think he played out of his mind. But at the same time, very good job to Murphy Rodet. Really good solo kills coming in for on the Gangplank onto the Urgot. I think also pretty tough matchup for the Gangplank. So I think pretty good job there. And Labyrinth, obviously perfect game, just had a lot of damage. I think really good job on his part. But I think, and Malcolm and Cheetah Farts played their champions very well, provide the pressure for Labby to be giant. At the same time, I think my personal opinion, I think the engage from No Nots and the hook from No Not literally basically made the game changer there. So my firm belief is that No Knock should get the MVP.
Yeah, so just in the numbers so far, we 15 votes already, so that's a lot. Thank you everybody for participating. 7 votes going for Labyrinth 1898. So lots of Lady Carry love. The meme ADC can't win MVP, but we've already seen multiple AD carries win MVP, I'm pretty sure, in other matches, and getting a lot of love this game. So it looks like the appreciation for all of the hardships that AD carries have to go through is finally being put to use this season, as we're getting some more votes in the AD carry for MVP. So we might let that go
That being
for
said,
another 30 seconds, but yeah.
That being said, Labby, you played well. You played very well. You played
Yeah,
beautiful hunting.
I didn't mean to, not say
I
that
think
Labby played
I
well,
think
but
I think Labby did play very well. I think the Dark Harvest Silver build in the itemization on Labby, very good. I think not being baited by the Mythic, I think, is very good. I think the itemization choices that he had specifically was what the team needed in terms of damage. So very smart itemization there. But
yep.
yeah,
I will, just to
gotta get my love.
it is a
Support
lot
being
easier to uh land boomerang blades when the enemy is locked up forever by your Nautilus. But regardless, I think we've probably seen enough. We haven't had any more votes. Is it still? I actually left the thing. Is it still?
It's Labby is still winning on the MVP votes. 7 votes to 5. 7 votes Labby, 5 votes Murphy, and 4
Okay,
votes
so
No Knock.
yeah, Murphy
I think
getting
No
some
Knock
love
being
there as
wrong.
well. That's what, 16 votes now? So yeah, lots of viewers, lots of people participating. We appreciate that. I think we can go ahead and probably call that for game 1 is Labyrinth 1898. We're gonna say congratulations on your game 1 MVP on the Dark Harvest Silver. Who needs mythics? So yeah, congrats on that one. I don't think we need to cut stream. We're already, or do you want? I don't know. We've had a lot of games where we haven't cut stream for game 2. We've just kind of kept it rolling.
We just kept it rolling, yeah.
So I think we're fine to do that as we are getting ready for game 2.
I am gonna stop. I'm gonna accept a lot of these tabs. I have like too many tabs open. I have like 5 tabs open, and I'm just like feeling anxiety. I'm like 5 to 8 tabs. I'm like, oh god, that's 8's too many. I need to reduce it to 5 again. Wait, that's yeah. Okay, we have the pick band link. Beautiful. So both of our predictions went true. I think, in terms of draft, I think Blitzcrank, Fistcrank had the easier to execute comp. I would love to see 2 tops and a bottom, 2 tops and a bottom adjust their pick ban a little bit. I think I would like to see maybe like a counter matchup in the bot lane, or not throw too many bans at one person. I think that's actually, unless they have a small champion pool, then sure. But like, if they don't have a small champion pool, like, don't bother. Maybe ban their signature champion, and that's about it. But I think throwing too many bans at a certain person
Yeah,
is a
Malcolm
little
XYZ eating up the triple ban first phase and just saying don't care, I'll pick Sejuani, and performed really well on it. So yeah, maybe that's something that could change up, knowing that
maybe
Malcolm has a deep pool and not throw all 3 bans at him. Although
maybe
I will
throw
say that
Knowledge Ban.
Diana, you mentioned Diana, he popped off on it last week, and in general it's just really strong. It's going to be nerfed. One patch after it was buffed, it's already going to be nerfed again this coming week because of how strong it is. So
I
the
think
Diana ban for sure. Right
Diana
after
ban I think
that,
necessary, but
yeah.
like I think you could adjust for perhaps perhaps even the Hecarim. Hecarim's annoying, but like Hecarim you can deal with. And like Volibear is definitely workable, so I think there's a there's a world where you can like leave the Volibear open, but I think you have to
Yep.
ban the
Well,
Nautilus.
also they're gonna have first pick this game, so there's definitely a possibility they can first pick the Volibear.
They could totally first pick.
So I could see them leaving that one open as well, or a Hecarim. I don't know if that's more. I don't know if Garfield Juice plays the Hecarim much, but either of those two are definitely first pickable because they're very strong. Still in the meta. Of course, Volibear again also has a flex value. You could potentially play it top lane. So that's definitely a first pick to watch. So we'll see how they change things up. I want to say, looks like we're getting some R's in the chat, so we should be going underway. Yeah, it looks like going back to some bans also from last week, like banning out a lot of champions from the top jungle potential here from Necro Guy and Garfield Juice was what was done in week 1, and we saw a lot of top bans last game as well. So Necro Guy pulling a lot of bans with his Renekton, the Kled. There's also some Malphite bans last week, which could have been a possible jungle flex because Garfield Juice will absolutely play Malphite jungle. But yeah, you can count basically technically 7 bans towards Necro Guy in week 1 and another couple last game. So targeting out Necro Guy seems to be a common strategy here. As we are officially underway, and there is the Kled ban right away again, as I said, and the Renekton on BFC taken away from Necro Guy. But there's the first adaptation, as Four Tops is going to ban the Gangplank away from Murphy Rodit. He was 3 for 3 picking Gangplank, and was 2 for 1 obviously on the pick, losing one game last week, but showed last game. Even against a lane where he was pressured a lot early, he held himself up really strongly and played really well and earned a lot of MVP votes as well on the Gangplank. So taking that away from him, and the Diana ban is staying there, as we saw, as we were talking about. Sorry, just a minute ago. So, and again, as we talked about, the first pick Volibear. So Hoagie and I are on a roll. The Sivir ban was taken away as the last ban from BFC, so potentially thinking that could have been a first pick, I guess. As that is a champion that Guy Fieric would play for sure. But putting a lot of priority in the Sivir there.
I think
to ban that away.
I think you bring the Sivir back, yeah? Or is Labby bringing Ezreal here?
Yeah, so Sivir was banned
Sivir
by
was banned.
BFC. Yep. They were, I guess, afraid of the first pick, Sivir. But anyway, that is the Ezreal, which was played both games last week by Labyrinth 1898. So that'll be 3 out of 4 games so far on the Ezreal, with the one Sivir game in the middle. The Morgana on the other side from Four Tops and Imbot. So they're just kind of showing their flexibility here, as well as, you can put the Volibear top side, you can jungle Morgana, which is all the rage now with the Morgana buffs. Morgana's going to be nerfed as well as Diana in the next patch because of how strong her jungling is. Or of course he can flex Morgana to mid or support. My boy Flydrate, my mid laner, played a mean Morgana mid last week, so lots of flex options there. And it's actually going to be the Kane locked in here for Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. So yeah, Malcolm XYZ putting a little bit more carry style here in the second game. We'll see if he goes blue or red Kane. I believe there's some Rost Kane buffs coming, but I don't think those are live. I think that's on the next patch or something like that. So we'll see which one he chooses to go for. As second round bans, that is the Malzahar and the Anivia taken away from Fling Panda. That is now Malzahar banned against Fling Panda in all 4 games so far, and the Anivia to follow that up. And the Silas again taken away from Cheeto Farts, and Gnar this time being banned away out of the top side pool. So a couple of changes here in the bans.
I would have preferred to see perhaps Shen ban instead of a Silas, but That's my personal take. I think Shen is a very good top laner right now. Especially with this composition that Blitzcrank Spacecranks have right now. I think Shen would fit really nicely into that comp. I
Yep.
think
So instead, we're gonna see the Urgot taken here.
not bad.
So a strong top laner did not work out for Four Top's last game, but still one that sees a lot of priority for a lot of top laners. And Galio taken, which again could be a support or a mid. So we still do not know exactly where all these champions are going to be going. We'll have to wait and see what this last pick is, I guess, to determine that. But
I think it's going to be a Galio mid from Fleeing
from
Panda. I
Panda,
think
yeah,
Panda's pretty proficient on Galio, so I think that's gonna be him on the Galio. But we'll have to see with this very last pick.
yeah, and they're going to go back to the Mordekaiser, which means that has to be a support Morgana, because I don't think you can put Mordekaiser or Volibear in the support role. So,
No, you could totally,
so
support. I've seen it.
I mean, again, technically that could be a support Galio and like a Morgana mid and a Mordekaiser jungle. I don't think it's gonna happen. And the set is gonna be locked in on the other side. So set mid.
I think that's
Yeah, that's gonna be a set mid from Cheeto Farts. Interesting. So no magic damage at all. Coming out of Blitzcrank Fixcranks is going to be interesting. They don't have necessarily a pure tank on Four Tops unless, of course, Volibear just goes chem tank and goes full tank items, so he can build stack armor. Galio and Mordekaiser are damage dealers that can also build tank items, so they can also build some armor stacking. So it'll be interesting seeing how this no AP comp works here from BFC, but yeah.
But there is percent health damage coming in from set, and Ezreal can build like some can build like Trellis and do some tank shreds. Like you can do some more extra damage. However, that being said, I think Four Tops and a bot most likely takes this game. That's gonna be my bold prediction. I think this is gonna close out with a 1-1 with a Four Tops and a bot win this one, just because I think their composition is now a lot easier to execute, I think, right? Because Volibear could just go in with his ultimate and just like Galio could just press R. Or like if a Morgana hits a single binding, like Caitlyn trap and just like do a lot better zone control, I think, than Blitzcranks. And like Four Tops and a bot obviously can just build full tank on the Volibear and just like never die unless like Ezreal builds carefully or got built carefully. Like it's gonna be kind of hard for Blitzcranks, but that's my take.
Yeah, their team fight is a little weird. They have Urgot set will be fairly beefy. Nautilus will be tanky. But they don't have like just like your classical, like last game they didn't just have a Sejuani Nautilus and then a couple of high DPSers behind it. So they there's a lot of like overall damage spread out here, but definitely a turn from their like pretty classical team fight that they had last game. So on the other side, Caitlyn, Morgana, Gallia, Mordekaiser, Volibear. So Caitlyn Morgana can be a pretty impressive lane. Now BFC have the Ezreal, who's known for being a safe AD carry, so that's going to be nice for them. But they're not going to be able to do. I don't think Ezreal Nautilus is going to be able to do too much into this. As long as Morgana's on with her spell shield, to stop the Nautilus CC. Then Kate Morgana's going to have a lot of pressure in this lane, a lot of long range damage coming out. Obviously a trap or a binding onto Nautilus or Ezreal, they can just pair it up with the other CC, do a lot of damage. So Four Tops, really strong bot lane.
Mm-hmm.
Galio set is an interesting mid matchup just because I'm not sure if I've ever seen it.
I think Set definitely wins that matchup just because you can have because Galio how Galio wants to get a lot of the damage off is by using the Justice Punch into the Shield of Duran and get the taunt off, and then maybe get a Q in, but like that's a lot of the damage combo that you want coming out of Galio. You're not just poking with your Q a lot of the time. And Set likes that, he just does the punch. Forgot a face breaker. He does a face breaker
Right.
thing
Yeah,
with
if
like
the two
a
of them
few
are just going to be, sitting in front of each other punching each other, I feel like Set probably does win that one.
Mhm.
You're right. So, but Galio, with the Q and with the AoE or passive on the whatever his passive is called, it can clear pretty well. So I don't think he's going to be like shoved in all the time. He just doesn't want to trade with the Set. So
He doesn't want to trade
it's
with the
gonna.
Set. So how Galio's gonna win this matchup is actually not by fighting the Set, because Galio has a lot more mobility than the Set with the ultimate. You're just gonna probably look to make a play bot lane or make a play top lane, wherever, or even in the jungle. Get get a nice 2v2 there. I think Set Set Kane is not gonna beat beat of Mordekaiser Galio. I think because Mordekaiser has a lot of damage and like Galio's basically just a setup. Although
If
Galio
you're
doesn't have
talking jungle mid, it would be Volibear because it is Necro Guy on the Mordekaiser and Garfield Juice has Volibear.
even better, right? Volibear has
Yeah,
has the chomp thingy and
he's
has
he's
the
a bear, so.
he's a Q. He has a lot more damage. I think a lot more CC, not more damage necessarily, but more CC. So like you're gonna be able to lock them out for like a very long time. I think Galio Volibear combination is, I think, a lot stronger than a Kane set, because Kane before farm doesn't really have much to offer in a 2v2 skirmish fight, right? It's gonna benefit Kane by skirmishing because you get the orbs, but like aside from getting the orbs, you're not gonna the actual fight themselves. I think it's favored towards Galio Volibear, right?
All right, so um, since we're talking about this, we do have a prediction started.
Did we now? Oh
Uh,
my gosh, time
I'm
to gamble all of my points away, and I'm going to gamble all of it now. Because I
Yeah,
don't
so
have any.
everybody place your bets versus four tops in a bot and Blitzcranks fist cranks. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Uh, yeah, place your bets on who's gonna win. Um, yeah, my personal vote is I'm gonna go with four tops. Um, I kind of thought this might be a 1-1 match heading into it, and with what they have here and this, I think their comp is just overall it's more solid all the way through. On the other side, again, you just one damage type from the other side, and you have some itemization advantages in there. And I do think the Volibear is a nice pivot. I'm glad that they sent Mordekaiser to the top lane instead of the jungle. Because I just think Volibear is a better jungler. He can clear still pretty well and very healthy, and his ganks will be more effective for sure than Mordekaiser. So just let Necro Guy take that into the top lane and bring the bear out from the jungle. So I'm glad that they opted to use the flex that direction. Just having better lanes this time too. Caitlyn Morgana should be a lot better for Guy Fieric and Hodor Nation. Which was the lane that got snowballed out of control against them last time. So I'll call the 1-1 here in favor of four tops this game.
I think so too. I think Caitlyn Morgana is a lot more adept to dealing with a Nautilus Ezreal, I think. At least in my opinion, I think Nautilus Ezreal isn't the best of lane. Okay, so the game loaded in now, Dan, so let's pause at 10 seconds.
Yeah. Pause
So
at 10. The PMALCS Classic.
the classic. Let's go. Pause at 10. Everybody pause at 10? I'm adjusting portraits right now anyway, so.
Dan.
Dan? Dan?
I'm here.
Okay, are you paused at 10?
Yes.
Okay,
Alright,
so
count us
you
off.
Count us down. Count us off.
Give me 1 second. All right, I'm pausing.
Wait, count us off?
I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, pause.
Now it's 11, 12, 13. Okay. So, let's see how this game starts. Make sure to have check the timers on and make sure
Yep.
to just.
So last game we saw both teams stack, and we saw the invade from four tops.
Look, they
Oh,
beat each other.
here's the flash pull in, and Cheeto Farts is crazy. He's going to be the first one to go down, but there's the answer. As Garfield Juice dies to Murphy Roddet, and it's so far just going to be the 1-for-1. The Morgana Binding hits, and there's a lot of damage. Murphy Roddet taken really low, but he's going to live, and the hook does not land, so it's going to be 1-for-1. But the first blood advantage goes for Guy Fieric, which I think is exactly who you want that on.
Oh my god, this is small mid lane.
Just everybody be in mid lane. Fight it out. Alright. So last game they were trying to be cheeky about it, you know, they were taking their time going through the bot jungle together, and this time they're just like meet up in mid lane. So alright, I like it. We got already some spicy action here, as that is going to be, okay, interesting. Guy Fieric goes for the Tear of the Goddess with his first blood gold. I'm not sure if that's what I would have chosen.
No, I think
I mean, there's not a lot you can buy, I guess, but still, like,
No,
you can at least
longsword.
get like a longsword, right?
Yeah, longsword
So,
probably
yeah.
better. TBH.
But he's gonna stack his mana, I guess. Maybe he wants to spam his abilities. I don't know. Anyway, still nice for them to get the first blood, and after that, no cheesy jungle things happening after that. So we saw the Kayn started bot side, and he's already down here in the bot lane actually. Looking for a gank, and here he comes through the wall. Hodor Nation is hooked and rooted, and that is another easy kill. Again, no, not November. Making things easy for this bot lane as Malcolm picks up the kill.
I don't know if I like the Morgana binding there. I think I could have just held on to that and just kind of just.
Oh, look at all this damage coming out on the top side. Both of them have their Conqueror, and it's going to be a trade in kills as the Q slam from Necro Guy secured it, but I think he was taking too much minion damage on the other side. So 1-for-1 is going to be, another hook landing in the bot lane. He's going to take 2 turret shots, and the Piltover Peacemaker is not going to be able to finish him off, but a lot of damage in the bot side. Malcolm making his way through here. He is down 2 whole camps already to Garfield Juice for the gank, so he's down a level. Garfield Juice was looking for him, but he didn't find him. Instead, he's going to go right on the Cheeto Farts. There's the knock-up, there's the stun, and it's going to be a big shield, but he has no flash or ignite from the level 1, and that's going to be a kill picked up for Garfield Juice.
Really good game coming in from Garfield Juice, coming in around. Got a nice efficient pathing, I think, coming in from Garfield Juice, and helped secure that kill onto Cheeto Farts there.
Yeah, so he saw Malcolm going through the mid lane on Kayn, and he knew he was up a level, so he waited for him in the river to see if he was going to walk into him. Oh, good spell shield there. Black shield from Hodor Nation is going to prevent the dredge line from No Not November. But yeah, when he sees Kayn kind of walk right by him. Oh, that one kind of went right around the minion. Very nicely timed for No Not. The Ignite is going to take down. It's not going to kill him, but that is going to be a lot of damage, and Caitlyn now has to possibly back. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we're seeing another potential gank. It's not going to go down. Cheeto Farts spamming in their faces. After being 0-2, I don't know if you earned the right to do that, but regardless, he's going to be able to be safe at his turret.
I like the boldness, though. I like the boldness.
So, yeah, anyway, it's going to be a turnaround in the gold lead after the level 1 first blood advantage. It's now a couple hundred in favor of the other direction for BFC. From probably look at the CS difference here in the bot lane and the top lane and the mid. Actually, all 3 lanes up by a lot of CS. So that's how they turned around the couple hundred gold lead from the first blood. Still really close though, 3-3 in kills. As we see, Kane here is on the invade, but he's in between 3 people, and he's gonna have to hightail it out of that one. The stun is not, or the taunt is not gonna be able to land because he uses the E to get through the wall. So that was a really risky invade there from Malcolm XYZ, especially on a Kane that does not have form. He is a lot weaker, but
It's
he's
okay,
able to
though.
get out.
I mean, he has E, he has Q. His ways to get out. It's a slippery snake there. I think it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
No crazy gold leads so far. No, see, there's a huge gold lead on Murphy Routet on the Urgot pick. Like a 300 gold, and there's a 200 gold lead on Garfield Juice onto Malcolm XYZ. And
yep. So here's yeah, the bot lane prowess coming in here. As we talked about the Caitlyn Morgana, a lot stronger lane. They were able to push up, take advantage of the recalls. They did not get the turret plate, but they have the advantage in the tempo bot lane for now. Is on the mini map. Oh, never mind. Mid lane, we're going to see the pull in, and there's the knock up, and the taunt is coming through. That's a lot of damage. Cheetah Farts is going to have a big shield though, and there's the ignite because he wants to just finish it. There's the ultimate, and taken down is nicely done from Cheeto Farts. After losing all of his health, he decides to keep it going. And the hook is not going to land in the bot lane. No, not November is going to eat a little bit of damage on the way up, but he's going to be okay. Caitlyn, ooh, the trap, there's some more damage, but Caitlyn just on the long sword. Not too much damage yet in the face of this double Ruby Crystal Nautilus. And this whole time, Malcolm XYZ was just soloing the dragon. So nicely done from him. They're going to lock that one up. He is still behind a few camps on Garfield Juice. But securing the dragon is going to be nice.
It's gonna be nice. I think though the gold advantage on the Garfield Juice is well worth it for him, just because I think the gold's gonna be very impactful. Like a lot less than, I mean, gold difference is gonna be very impactful because Kane being behind is a little sus. As he said, a little fight comes on the bot lane. Fortunately, tries to hook in a minion wave. Not that great, unfortunately.
So one thing we do have to talk about in the mid lane 1v1 is, of course, Galio. Oh, never mind. Ooh, Black Shield is again very nicely timed from Hodor Nation. He's going to prevent that from going in, and Labyrinth Tonight is going to heal, and there's the flash root. But there's the binding, and the Piltover Peacemaker is going to lock that one up, and No Not walks right onto the Caitlyn trap. But he's going to be able to walk out because Caitlyn netted herself out of auto range following that one up. But still a nice return kill following the bind from Hodor Nation. Oh, it's not over yet though, as here is Malcolm XYZ. He's not going to get the W. He flashes for the Q. The spell shield is going to block the Nautilus hook, but it's not going to save his life. A shutdown is coming in there. Another kill for Malcolm XYZ. Mid lane, here's the trade coming in. Panda takes the advantage. Actually, it's pretty even after that last punch. But yeah, Malcolm XYZ again in the bot lane is going to pick up another kill.
I think that's gonna be the way Malcolm XYZ is like way back into the game. Oh, that's just it then.
Oh, here's the fight here, and there's the Galio. Well, it was stopped from Cheeto Farts, and now here finally Necro Guy is in for the assist. He puts him in the death realm. Murphy Roddet has nowhere to go. The Rift Herald is finished up by Garfield Juice, and Necro Guy takes the kill.
Oh, very good rotation coming in from Necro Guy. A very good coordination, I think. Good attempt to stop the Galio rotation from Cheeto Farts, but I think that wasn't enough because topside also had a little bit of a prio, considering, you know, Mordekaiser could just clear the wave very quickly.
Yep. Oh, there's a knock-up to guarantee a couple of turret shots on the Cheeto Farts, but he did have, I think he had the shield from the Haymaker if he needed it. Oh, here's a little walk by here, drive by from Garfield Juice. The hook is going to come in onto Guy Fieric, but Labyrinth 1898 was not there to follow that up. And there's the Death Charge coming out. The Spell Shield does time out in the True Shot Barrage. Going to do a lot of damage to Guy Fieric. So he is alive, but he is very low health already.
That was a Cogbot W that you were referring to.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but anyway, yep, there's I wasn't too sure about that attempt at first, but it obviously worked in chunking out Guy Fieric. They did lose their ultimates for that, but he does have to be a lot more careful, especially if he positioning behind minions to block the Mystic shots. Yeah. So
I gotta see it, I think.
Garfield Juice is here, but they're just going to be okay. I like this pink ward that we see on the. If you look in the top jungle, the pink ward behind the red buff. So they got some good information on Malcolm XYZ from that one. I'm not sure when that was put down, but that is potentially going to get them a lot of information. As we have a trade here in the top lane come in, and Necro Guy with that second Q slam doing isolated damage on the Murphy Rod that takes him pretty low. Trade was pretty even from both sides, but yeah, so far this top lane is pretty not too far away in CS, and both of them have 2 kills. So I like this matchup here on the top side. Garfield Juice on the minimap, as we can see, is up there, but he's on a ward, so Murphy Rod it should be safe. And yeah, not too much other action going on. Is Garfield Juice actually picked up the Rift Herald. I missed that one happening in all the other action, and they're gonna dive him potentially with the Volibear ult, and there it is. That cancels the turret, and that's an easy pickup there from Necro Guy. Here is Cheeto Farts, however, who's gonna flash, and he's gonna look for the engage. He puts him into the Death Realm finally, but the Ignite was enough to take down Garfield Juice, and this is a lot of damage coming out of Necro Guy, but the shield is going to keep Cheeto Farts alive. Oh, there's a shield on both sides you see as Necro Guy takes it, and that's another kill for him, but that's going to be turned onto the dragon on the bot side from Blitzcrank Fitzcrank, taking up 2 dragons.
That's gonna be huge coming in from side of 4 tops and a bot. However, they did get a second dragon from coming in from Fitzcranks. We'll see. Although a Cloud Dragon on its own, I think, is kind of worthless. However, it does get them closer to that Infernal Soul, so I think it's not bad. But at the same time, it gives 4 tops and a bottom really good avenue to come back with 4 Infernals in a row. It's gonna give them like.
Oh, and here Garfield Juice again keeping his top side in his thoughts, and here's the gank. The pullback is going to be there. Murphy Rodette still does not have his flash. Another kill is going to be picked up. This time it goes to Garfield Juice, and he wants to use the Rift Herald. Meanwhile, bot side, there's the flash from Horde Nation, and the Ignite is going to be enough to take him down. And he flashes away from the hook. What a nice flash from Guy Fieric to make it a 1-for-1 in the bot lane, but now he is having to run away from No Not November. He has enough damage to kill him if he lands a Q. You just need to walk away, Guy Fieric, but he doesn't do it, and he's going to make that a 2-for-1 in the bot lane. However, first turret of the game is going to fall in the top side thanks to the Rift Herald and the gank from Garfield Juice.
I think that was a good look coming in from No Not November. I think that was pretty good. I think, although, special shout out to Guy Fieric on there and the positioning. Regardless of, he's going to die anyways from where he was at, but then at least can return a kill onto Labyrinth 1898, which then, you know, negates his ability to farm a little bit. So,
yep.
Well played on Guy Fieric. And also No Not November.
Yeah, Necro Guy has to be careful here. Oh, he does not get hit by the Urgot ultimate. However, here is the answer from Fling Panda on the Nautilus ultimate, and Cheeto Farts is going to go down. What a nice ultimate usage there from Fling Panda. The save is top laner from the Urgot roam. And, oh, the minions actually took down the enter turret off screen while we saw that, so... Topside dominance here, as you would expect from a team that has 4 top lane mains. Using the Rift Herald's top lane and Garfield Juice spending a lot of time up there this game, so that is a nice lead that they get on the top side. The pullback is there. They're going to dive Malcolm, but he's able to Q away. The Volibear ultimate cancels the turret for a couple seconds, but they're going to walk out of that one. Oh, a lot of damage is coming on the No-Not, but there is the Dredge line coming out in the depth charge to follow it up. Guy Fieric can't get away from that one. He's going to get slowed and taken down by Labyrinth 1898. And No-Not November continuing to be a menace on this Nautilus here in Game 2.
Yeah, very good job on the Nautilus. Honestly, I think I would have liked to see a quicker Black
Oh,
Shield.
while we're talking about it, there is another hook, and this time he gets put under the turret. The turret shot is not going to come up from the third one to finish him off, but another hook landed there, max range from No-Not.
The earth reflects your torment.
All right.
But I think
So where are you?
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think I would like to see a little bit more of an instinctual Black Shield coming in from Morgana. I think that would really save Caitlyn's life. But that's just my take.
Yeah, so we are seeing the majority of these teams are postured now around the Rift Herald, apart from the support AD 1v1 in the bot lane. But this is going to be picked up thanks to the prio that Four Tops had on it. So that is both Rift Heralds now in this game. Again, using their top mains to have prio on the top side of the map. And we'll see what they do with this one. They got 2 turrets in the top lane, I think, out of the first Rift Herald. So mid turret is already really low. That could be a potential output. Do you think that's what they should probably just do with this Rift?
Honestly, I think just try to let's see the objective timer for a second. Let's look at it. So you got 2 minutes. You got a minute on the dragon. I would honestly just use it mid lane just to like get that first dragon, because like you don't want Blitzcrank to get soul point, because that's gonna be their win con here, I think. So I think you kind of want to drop the Herald mid, just so that like they're forced to choose between towers or the dragon. I think dragon's very. You don't want to give up Infernal Soul on the side of Four Tops and a bot. So.
Yep. There is the channel on the Rift Herald used, and they don't have a wave, but it doesn't matter because the turret was already low enough, and the depth charge is going to knock up Necro Guy, and he's going to flash away. Here's the Gallia ultimate to make sure everybody gets out of there. Ace in the hole is going to do some damage. No-Not November is tanky, but there is the taunt, and Garfield Juice takes down No-Not November. The bind is not quite going to get onto Murphy Rodette, but they are pinging towards the dragon to stop the stacking here from BFC.
And I think now is a good opportunity, I think, for them to go for the dragon. I think it's a 4v5 right now. I'm pretty sure Four Tops and a bot gonna be able to win this fight.
Mordekaiser has the Death Realm. I want to see if he possibly uses it to make sure Kane cannot steal it. And it doesn't matter because it's going to go down. Malcolm XYZ goes down. Morgana is dead. But that's a double kill already. And the set ultimate is not going to keep him alive. And there, Labyrinth 1898 cannot get away from this big, massive lightning bear. He's going to get stunned and he's going to go down unstoppable. That's an unofficial triple kill for Garfield Juice. He's 6-2-4, and this is now a 4,000, almost 5,000 gold lead for Four Tops. All right, so nicely done. They took position. They knew that they had the 4v5 with No-Not already dead, and they lost Hodor Nation in the fight, but that's the only one. And they got the dragon. They got some more kills, so they have a nice lead for themselves. And we already talked about them having a comp advantage, so that paired with a gold lead is going to be really nice. Look at some of these scores here. 4-1-5 for Necro Guy in the top lane. 6-2-4 for Garfield Juice, who has his he has 2 items completed. We talked about armor stacking. He has a Thornmail second item because there's no magic damage coming from the other side. So this Volibear is going to be extremely, extremely hard to kill. I like the itemization there from Garfield Juice. Speaking of itemization, this is not going to be a very tanky set. He went first item Blade of the Ruin King, so I guess he wants some 1v1 potential damage against the Galio, but yeah, he's going to be pretty easy to kill if he gets CC'd even with his Haymaker shield. Oh, here's an engage on the Necro guy in the top lane who is all by himself. He puts Murphy Rada in the Death Realm. We talked about him being 4-1 and 5. He's going to get a nice kill for himself with the healing from his Rift Maker. He's going to possibly turn this on to 2 kills. I think he can 1v1 the Kane at this point. Here's another shield, and Kane has to hightail it out of dodge. Garfield Juice is chasing him. There's the flash over the wall. Ace in the hole is not going to secure that because Fleeing Panda took the kill, and a nice 2 kills on the top side.
I think at this point, like...
Oh, the binding's going to land. That's going to be a taunt as well. No, not flashes, but there's Volibear canceling the turret. He says, I'm just going to leap on your face. No, not November. And take another kill. They're just going to turn straight onto the Baron here. There is no TP from Set, who is in the bot lane. However, Murphy Rada has spawned. Necro guy is already low.
Okay,
but
it's fine.
Yeah, there is no True Shot Barrage from Ezreal, so that steal I don't think is a reality. He can poke over the wall with his Mystic shots and be a little bit of a nuisance here. Especially with the Divine Sunderer, he will do more % health damage.
And there's a TP coming
True Shot comes up with the cooldown from his Q. Murphy Rada is here, but Necro guy recalled and TP'd back in to prevent anything from going down. Ezreal ended up over the wall. I don't know how Ezreal ended up over the wall because they don't have a way to put him there. Maybe it was an accidental blast cone. Regardless, he's dead, and that's going to be 20-10 in kills, and now a 7,000 gold lead, and everybody's wearing purple here for 4 tops. They're going to march down midline. The hook goes wide. Depth charge knocks up Necro guy, but it's not going to be enough. No, November is too late for this world dominating as Necro guy is there going to be looking towards the bases. The inner turret falls, and Blitzcrank's fixed cranks are just reeling on their heels at this point.
I think it's gonna be very difficult. I think for
oh, Necro guy takes low. There's the ultimate from Set. The Galio ultimate is going to come in and not knock up Cheeto Farts because he's in the Death Realm. Necro guy is godlike as he takes that one. 1 kill shutdown there is for Labyrinth 1898, but there is the stopwatch from Fleeing Panda is going to prevent him from going down, and the double kill from Necro guy as he pulls Murphy Rada back into the team. The True Shot Barrage, though, is going to snipe Hodor Nation, so Labyrinth picking up 2 key kills there, and I think that is going to be it on the Siege. 4 tops are walking out of that one in a 2 for 2.
Oh gosh, this game is spicy. Oh my god,
Oh, Guy Fieric was, I guess he was interrupted, and Nonot just stands in front of the ace in the hole, and he is not long for this world anymore. Malcolm XYZ finally picks that one up, and so that is a little bit of a blunder there. With the Baron buff, they're going to go down in a 3 for 2. And that is also Dragon spawning in 15 seconds, and there's going to be no Caitlyn.
But actually, speaking of what's going on in this, like some of the item paths and like how tanky Garfield Juice is, I'm really liking the itemization coming in from Cheeto Farts. The Blade of the Ruin King actually is a smart item to build because they're gonna have a lot of health, a lot of armor. You need to be able to shred them.
Here's Kane over the wall. He's just going to get stunned and taunted, and he's not even going to be able to ult. He has to flash away. Murphy Rada comes in to try to defend his jungler, but he's just going to have to flash out as well before he finally goes down, and that's another kill for Necro guy, who has 10 now on the game, and that's going to be an easy dragon to make it 2 for 2 in that score. Double Infernal Drake now is going to be a lot of extra added damage here coming in for the team that's already in a big gold lead.
Well, so let's think about the win cons here for a bit. Like, what can Blitzcrank fix cranks do to come back in this game? So I think it's possible. I think Nonot has to really be careful about his depth charge. Especially because you can't, like, just punish it. Just punish, as soon as the black shield goes down, just, like, punish it. Use it. Just, like, immediately. Like, make a carry go away. And then everybody on that side, on that team, I think, needs a QSS, because Mordekaiser is just going to kill them in a 1v1 death realm. I think.
Yeah, right. We haven't even talked about the QSS yet. There is, as you mentioned, none on that side.
Listen, SQS has to deal with the Mordekaiser death row, unfortunately.
Yep. And with the 10-kill Mordekaiser, who now has his third item, that's a Demonic Embrace and a Cosmic Drive, which I feel like is an interesting build. But when he's that far ahead, he's just doing a lot of damage. So 3 items now, he's going to be able to 1v1 anybody he puts in the Death Realm. So yeah, that's a key item that we're going to need to be picking up. Thank you for bringing that one out. So far, the base is still intact, though. They have not broken any of the turrets, thanks to that fight they just had. And they're going to have to wait at least a few more minutes on the next Baron, so they have some time to try to farm up a little bit. Actually, faster than I think. It's about a minute and a half now on the Baron, so... right now, though, we're just seeing a 4-1 as 4 tops and a bot are just... leaving Panda in the bot. He has his TP and, of course, the Galio ultimate, and the rest of them are pushing up, and they're going to siege on this mid turret. That's a lot of damage coming in onto Malcolm, and No Not is going to eat the ace in the hole there with his shield also. Finally, Set clears out the top wave, so Cheeto Farts is heading now back towards the mid lane to join the team as 4 tops rotated to the bot side. I think this is a pretty smart move. However, they don't have a wave yet, and there is a response. Necro Guy is a little bit too far under the turret without a team, without a wave. The Dredge Depth Charge comes out too early, but he just gets walked back into the hook. He stays alive so far because Necro Guy just does so much damage. That's a double kill. Can we see more from him? There's the ultimate from Volibear. It's going to cancel the turret. This is potentially the Quadra as the triple finally goes down onto Necro Guy. Cheeto Farts get pulled in, and there's the Quadra kill. Put it on the page. Necro Guy is having himself a game.
Oh my god, post it to the page. Oh gosh. That Mordekaiser is just giant.
Yeah, we talked about having his third item and how much of a menace he is. He's going to be hard to kill through the Conqueror and Riftmaker healing, as well as the defensive stats from Demonic Embraces. Now Panda goes in and gets the flash out of Labyrinth 1898, but they're going to keep pushing down. They're not going to keep this one going, actually. They just take the bottom inhibitor, and here's the teleport off to the side. We're not going to see it because the directed camera leaves us on Fling Panda getting hooked in, and this is finally a shutdown that Blitzcrank's needed.
It's on the King too, which is actually pretty huge because then you can get more damage on. You can get damage off, so pretty important, I think.
Yeah, I looked away to look at Twitch chat for 1 second, and I see Malcolm is dead. I don't know how that happened, so immediately giving over some gold after taking the shutdown. That's still going to be a net positive for them with the shutdown, but interesting with Dragon spawning soon that he would die. He's going to be up before the Dragon is there with a decent amount of time. They're not in position to take Baron, so it's not the end of the world, but interesting death there. I want to talk about this Mura mana here for Kayn. I'm also do not play Kayn at all.
Shadow.
That is a normal Shadow Assassin item?
It's more geared towards Shadow Assassin because then with the Lucidity boots too, you just like. And since
yeah, I mean he is Shadow.
Yeah, he is Shadow.
But that's interesting. He does that, but then he goes into the Gore Drinker for his Mythic, which I feel like is more of a Rost item. But
well, the thing about Gore Drinker is that its Mythic passive does give ability haste, right? So you're just getting a natural like 15 ability haste from the item, from the Mermana item, and then you get the Mythic passive. So I don't hate it, but
the True Shot Barrage coming through was a nice attempt, but it is not going to steal this one away. That's 3 Infernal Dragons. That's a lot of bonus damage here for 4 tops. They're just going to take that one and march it straight up the river, right at the Baron. They do have Super Minions still pushing in the bot side, and Murphy Rotted is down there without TP. Urgot does not have TP, so this is a 5v4 on the Baron as Murphy Rotted now is walking up. But Baron is already at half health. They shred this thing, and right now there is absolutely no way that BFC can steal this one. Nobody was even in position, and that's an easy Baron going down after taking the 3rd Dragon. So just owning the entire Rift here is 4 tops in the bot.
And Thank you for the correction, Neil the Steel. As the resident K main, I should hate it. You know, I see it. And I realize he does have Conquer, so yeah, it's, I don't think it's
Oh, good. We have our resident
optimal.
Kane main in the chat
Yeah,
to talk
I
about this Kane build here.
I don't play Kane enough to know anything about Kane. I'm sorry, I insulted your champion.
Oh, that's a binding, but they're not going to follow that one up other than a couple Caitlyn autos, which does do a lot of work, though, on this kind of weird hybrid Kane build that we were just talking about. That is going to be an easy turret going down, and a root is onto Nona November. Garfield just takes him down. That is going to be the first inhibitor of the game going down in the mid lane. Ezreal needs to be careful here as the rotation is over, and Garfield Juice is not going to be able to get him as he uses his Arcane Shift to get out, but that is the second turret and the second inhibitor of the game going down, and they are still going strong with this Baron buff. They're just going to look to end, possibly, as No Not November is still 20 seconds away. This is going to be a desperate base defense here from Blitzcrank's Fizz Cranks. Some poke coming out onto Fling Panda. He's about half health after the magic damage shield. And minions are now going to be finally pushing onto this bottom Nexus turret, and Necro Guy is going to whack that one down. That's one turret. This other Nexus turret is going down, but here's not on November, so we're going to need to have a fight to lock this one up. The depth charge goes and doesn't really do anything, and Garfield Juice just slams on top of Murphy Rawdead, and this is going to have to be the game. That's another kill on the other side. Make that 3, and now Labby is not going to go down before the Nexus, but that's going to make it a 1-1 here for 4 tops in a bot.
Much action going on everywhere. It was just like trying to put Chad in for color. It was like, oh no, there's another action going on here. So much action, so much. So I don't want to say Fiesta, but there was a lot going on. It was like a lot of fights, a lot of action. Typical PMALCS, I feel like.
All right, so that is it for your Saturday night FIMU Alpha League Championship Series. That is going to be a 1-1 for 4 tops in a bot versus Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks. Let's look here at Game 2 MVP votes. So to me, I mean, obviously the one that sticks out is Necro Guy. I mean, he was 15, 1, and 7. So, you know, a KDA of 22. He he did have some love from Garfield Juice. He did spend some time up there to make sure that Necro Guy was doing good in the lane, but he absolutely popped off with his lead. Had a lot of close fights that were could have gone either way, but he kind of pulled it out. And once he got his third item, he was pretty much unstoppable at that point. So I don't know if Dan can bring up the damage chart, but he also topped the damage charts on this Mordekaiser. So I'm going to go ahead and say Necro Guy deserves it, but
I agree with the Necro Guy pick. However, I do want to give a shout out to Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice pulled really good ganks, I think, all around. Even on mid lane too, I think got Cheeto Farts behind as well, and got in a kind of a tough matchup for Fleeing Panda. I think it's very good.
Yeah, Cheeto Farts did have the 1v1 kill, solo kill, on to Fleeing Panda earlier, but Garfield Juice coming into the lane after that to help him out and stabilize that lane, and then a lot of attention in the top side with both Rift Heralds and getting Necro Guy ahead. So I agree. I think Garfield Juice showed a lot more proactivity this game, and I think their draft adaptation to obviously use their first pick to take Follow Bear rather than ban it like game 1, and I think that was extremely smart of the team, and he executed on the pick extremely well. Also, itemizing extremely well for the game, knowing there's no magic damage, just going full armor on all of his items. So I definitely think Garfield Juice is kind of like my honorable mention for this game, but Necro Guy kind of sticks out a little bit more to me. But we'll see what the chat decides. The poll is up. Thank you, Hoagie, again for making a straw poll in both games. Of course. Right now it is. Oh yeah, 9 votes, 7 already for Necro Guy out of those 9. Make it 9 out of 11 votes for Necro Guy. So,
Also, I just want to mention, I got both of my predictions right today.
yeah,
Game
we
one,
both picked the
for.
same matches and same games, and we were both right. So
So it's not Caster's curse; it's Caster's blessing this time.
that's
Okay,
right.
Caster's blessing. Blitzcrank Fest BFC got the first game, our blessings for first game, and they got and then Four Tops and Bot got our blessing in the second game. I feel like I'm becoming a prophet in the in
You
in
heard
the
it here,
BFC.
folks. It's Prophet Hoagie. So look to Super Hoagie to get all of your League of Legends wisdom. I think we can go ahead and safely call this vote without spending much time on it. It is already 10 out of 12 votes for Necro Guy in the straw poll. I don't think we need to spend any more time on that. So that is going to be game 1 was who was game? Oh, game 1 was the AD carry.
Game was
It was
Labby.
98 from game 1 for Blitzcrank's Fist Cranks, and that is Necro Guy game 2. So
We go to player of the game one now, Dan. Along with
yep.
Dan, we're all going to player of the game one to talk about interviews. Hello.
Yeah, Dan, we go to player of the game. It's just a couple chats down.
There it goes. Okay, I was like, should I tell you guys?
All right, so if we can get Necro Guy, there's Necro Guy, and let's get Labyrinth 1898 in here.
Get your
Labby,
butt in here.
Labby. Okay, well, I'll message him. It's okay. I got you.
What do I typically put on the stream while we do these interviews?
You can just leave that up.
You can just leave it
whatever
as
you
it
have.
is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Labby.
Labby, Labby.
You might be doing like a team debrief or something. We should just message him.
I messaged him. I'm gonna go back to his infiltrate his chat and tell him.
Infiltrate. Hoagie's behind enemy lines.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, bud? Good games.
All right. So we are finally joined with both of our players of the game. Congratulations, you guys, on your respective victories tonight. Yeah, extremely impressive performances from both of you. If I'm remembering, only 1 death between the two of you.
Hey,
Yeah, I know I'm a feeder.
wasn't on your side, yeah.
Necro Guy on the 1 death beating, yeah.
It was, yeah, great games, definitely. You guys were really came out strong in game 2 and surprised a lot of us. That Mordekaiser especially was just, woo!
Oh,
We
yeah.
almost,
I mean, your macro that first game was very good, and to be honest, we kind of underestimated some of the matchup situations. So definitely it forced us to reevaluate for that second game. I think it was a really good series. Although both games were a little, I don't want to say a little one-sided on both games. They kind of ended up being that way, but I think there were a lot of good things from both teams shown that match. So.
Shout
I
out
had a
to
blast
No
playing.
Not November out there.
yeah.
If you're seeing this, I noticed you. I noticed your plays.
Also, two admins MVPs. Smells sketchy to me.
oh, this is the
Yeah.
admin abuse that
Yeah,
everyone's
this
been
is.
talking about.
It's
If anybody
Yeah.
didn't know, PMALCS is rigged. All right, it's
Yeah,
confirmed. Just so.
totally. You know that ADCs can't win any MVP. I'm just happy I finally got an
I
MVP.
voted for No Not. Thank
True
you.
though. True though.
I was gunning for No Not's MVP.
So, I do. I guess both of you guys could answer this in turn, but if you just want to kind of go over, if you guys like what your kind of draft prep was for this week, just because, just kind of curious to know what if you guys had discussions or what were you kind of looking at in your drafts.
You can go first, Lebby.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, we were pretty sure about what we wanted to ban. We feel Necro Guy is the strongest lane on their team, and throw the Renekton ban. I pretty much have to throw. And then I had been watching some games of his earlier this week when he had just really popped off on the Kled, and sort of could enable the rest of his team by just throwing the Kled R, and then everybody else just follows up kind of right behind that. So we knew we didn't want to deal with that. As far as the Sivir, we knew that Eric is a good Sivir player, and I was kind of inspired, actually. I think you guys played it last week. And I was kind of inspired this week and had been practicing that. So we kind of knew we wanted to pick up Sivir first pick, and that we didn't really want to let them have it, which we felt was strong, but didn't really work out.
Yeah, find me off of LCS loves Sivir. It's one of those picks that's always been, no matter what the meta is, Sivir will always be up there. So,
Meta,
And not only Dark Harvest Sivir is always like really good. Dark
yeah,
Harvest
right
Sivir
now,
right now.
for the
It's
poke
so
and for
And then Necro guy, so you guys showing the Mordekaiser flex, was that, it was banned away from you guys both games last week, but this time it was not. So, but swapping it from jungle to top from game 1 to game 2. So what's your kind of, is it just like a champion that, Garfield Juice really likes in the jungle? Or what's your kind of read on
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Mordekaiser flex?
Mordekaiser is I think, and contrary to kind of the results of the first game, I think it's a very strong flex pick for our team. We do actually have pretty much 4 players that play it. Panda plays it, I play it, obviously, Jonesy plays it, and Eric does also play it a little bit. So it gives us a lot of options with if we do end up wanting to flex people places. He's also just been really wanting to play Mordekaiser jungle, so we picked up as the flex. Honestly, we kind of big brained ourselves on the draft in that second game. No, I'm sorry, in the first game. Opting into that Urgot matchup top lane. I honestly had completely forgot about Gangplank's ability to cancel the Urgot ult.
Or
Which I'm sure you guys saw that happen a couple times.
Riley was laughing. Yes, Riley was laughing.
I had completely forgotten about
that.
that interaction.
I
So,
also
because
forgot
we figured it was going to be a pick into the Mordekaiser because
Yeah.
it's a very good pick into that. So we had tried counting with the Urgot, and obviously you saw how that ended up going. I do really want to give. Well, yeah, and I want to give really big props to Murphy because he was playing the spacing on that stuff very well, and he wasn't afraid to take those fights because there were a few fights that we took where we were both basically one auto from dead in that, and a lot of people would be too afraid and they would just run away and die instead. But he knew his damage and he got to the point where he was able to get really far ahead in that. I mean, as far as our overall draft prep, as you could probably tell from the bans, we were focusing pretty heavily on Malcolm, just because we know that he's a very strong enabler, as you saw with the Sejuani in that first game. All over the map, very strong objective control. So we kind of went towards that way, and then obviously we had to reevaluate once Labby shoved it up our butts in that bot lane. And I mean, that first game was just basically a master class from each lane on what you want to be doing for that respective role. So again, just big props on that first game for y'all. Y'all really
adjusted
showed
though,
up
and
for it.
got rid of that Gangplank and friggin' brought the Mordekaiser up to the top lane. I think both of those adjustments were really good. So, honestly, as far as the Mordekaiser, I didn't do my research well enough because I had known that like you guys played it a little bit, but I didn't realize it was like that big of a guy. So that's on me.
So
so that is just interesting as we, with all the like champions that are in the jungle now, with the Diana Morgana buffs, most people have not also picked up the Mord, even though that was included.
Right? Don't forget the Darius.
But I knew that Garfield Juice was one of the few players that liked that one. So one more quick question here for top. So I've noticed, I don't know if this is something you guys intend or if it's just how it plays out, but it seems like pretty much all your games, including last week, you have not had much of a priority on like First Dragon, and instead you've been playing towards Topside and Rift Herald. As I think you've had you have not had First Dragon in any game, but you've had the Rift Herald in every single game. So is that like a conscious, like you're making that swap on purpose? Do you just value the Rift Herald and the potential turret taking, or is it just like happened to play out that way, not on purpose?
I mean, a little bit of both. Jonesy and his pathing really does have I don't want to say a top like priority on that,
Mid-top, yeah.
if you're, I've been paying attention to some of the games. There's a lot of situations where, for example, Panda and I both tend, like generally speaking, to shove early, and we are able to roam to help out with that scuttle, which gives a lot of priority on that. And for the Herald, it does give those options for breaking turrets, because we've found that, again, excluding last game, when you're able to break those turrets, especially on the top side of the map, it really frees up your options when it comes to macro. And the strength of the first dragon, the first 1 or 2 dragons in the game, to be honest, isn't necessarily worth the influx of gold and pressure you get from that Herald for our specific team, especially because we tend to play more mid-game centric champions. We want to make sure we're able to get pressure on the map. We're able to make sure we can push that advantage before it gets to the point where we're not really playing for an Elder Dragon if we can avoid for it. So we're not as focused on getting that timer set for the dragon.
Yeah, I can say,
Gotcha.
kind of going off that point, just making what you said, Alex, totally, like my team was definitely feeling that. I can tell you my mid and top were both game 2. They were like, man, friggin' Garfield juice just running up on us. So they definitely felt that pressure top side, and I think that's a great way for your team.
And you could get that, especially the second game of that last week on the Alawi. Just the ability to create that much pressure from Herald. I think if you can get both Heralds off, it's a very effective thing that not enough teams really are paying that much attention to. Also, I just entered an ARAM, so let's go.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for that insight there. Anybody listening in the 2nd division, you now know all of the 4.
Do it.
All of 4 Top's background decisions.
Mordekaiser, do it.
So yeah, they ignore First Dragon for Rift Herald every game. There's your research from 2nd division. All right. If there's I don't have any other questions, so if Hoagie or anyone else has one, or I don't have chat up right now, if there's one in chat, but
I have chat up right now. I'm just saying, people are lucky. People are up to ban champs against Necro, so we're apparently very lucky that we can ban things against Necro guy from PMA Owl.
That's a Philanthropist. Don't listen to him.
Who knew that Necro guy had target bans? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Like, what's a Renekton? I don't know what a Renekton is.
What's a Necro?
A gross crocodile thing? It's like a gross crocodile, right?
I can't.
Yeah, you have blasphemed against the Church of Necro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if that is it for the questions,
Wizard lizard.
Wizard lizard.
Close us out.
Thank you guys for coming in, and thank you for the interviews. Appreciate everybody in chat for sticking around. It was a lovely series to cast. My first time back casting this season, felt nice. Appreciate Nature Dan. His first time ever streaming. First time ever streaming. So that is awesome.
Stream, by the way. Fabulous stream.
Yeah, congrats to both of you guys on the 1-1. We're looking forward to following your guys the rest of the season. There are 4 matches, I believe, tomorrow. Between first and second division. So everybody gets your massive PMA LCS
popcorn
ready
get
for
your
tomorrow.
Multi-views.
Get the extra large popcorn, or else you're gonna run out. You know?
And that's gonna be it from us. So tune in tomorrow, and thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night.
Bye.